I've put out the video here for some of the just kind of the outlines of the licks that Jimmy does in Red House. So the first one I'm in standard, so everything I believe they tuned down one. So technically, I guess you would start up here, but I'm starting on, this is my 11th, or I'm sorry, 10th fret with the middle finger, playing the C, or I'm sorry, no, this is a F here. And then you're playing the A flat, and then here we're playing the D. And you're just going back and forth from the G string and the E string. And that's kind of like a little thing that he does if you want to talk about the exact notes. I always just... whatever kind of, I just kind of would improv that part. But he kind of goes back and forth from the G and the high E string, and he does... so he's going 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Now when he kind of shifts back that half step, you want to kind of brush the G and the B string. And then I think he kind of stops. I always thought that he kind of went back up and kind of hit that accent. But I guess he kind of just goes and does the chord. But I like to do... kind of go back up to it. But anyway, so after you kind of do that, however you kind of want to, as long as it fits in the same segment of time, even when I would play this live, I kind of be creative with how you're doing that. But anyway, after you hit that, now I'm gonna kind of save the life of my strings here and not do the bend. Whether you want to bend with the third finger or the pinky. But I find that sliding is just as good. Now you do want to kind of get used to, the difference between a whole step bend and a half step bend. Just for my purposes here, I'm going to slide up whole step. And he does that 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. And it's a 12/8 blues, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. And then it comes back in with it goes back and forth. So when he's bending it, he goes... and he only does that twice, though. Now you got to remember to get all that way up with that whole step bend. Okay. Now, so he does this 3 times. And then he does a... sorry, I went up a little high that first time, but just 2 times. And then we come over here, do one of these classic blues bends. We're in the 6th position here. So, kind of does like he kind of holds it a minute. And then he kind of, so he's going 1st string, 6th fret, 2nd string with the pinky on the 9th fret, and then 6th fret on the B string, and then back up to your 8th fret on the high E string, and you go back to the 9th fret on the B string, or you got 8, 6, 9 on the B, and then 9 on, or 6 on the B string again. So that all together. Okay, so if you want to kind of make it simple, try and break it down into 3-note phrases. You got the, and then you have, and then you have, and you just bring it back down to, I think he, let me think. Yeah, so he does the bend. Again, whole step bend. And he does a little quick, like, boing, boo. And he goes back to that 6th fret on the G string. So far, all together, we got the, and then he kind of almost does like a little chromatic thing up really quick. Something like that. And then he, I think he actually might hit this in there too. Maybe not. Maybe he's just coming down to that. But anyway, after that you have the, and he kind of bends this up a little bit and goes back to the 1st. And then again, real quick with the, so far we have, or I'm sorry, or, and then he has this hammer on. So it's a lot to go through so far, but after the 3 bends, you got 2 of the back and forth, and again that, and you do that 2 times, and you have or I'm sorry, on that one it's, and then right away you go into the, so that's probably the newest one here so far. So we got, and then after that we have the hammer-on part, or I'm sorry, it's a, so that next one, you kind of separate this hammer-on part, or that's kind of like its own phrase, right? And then you have, and that's just going down your pentatonic there, just G string 6th fret, D string 8th, D string 6th fret, and then hit the blue note, and you go down a half step. So this is all chromatic. Okay, and then you have, after that, so far again we have the, I keep on forgetting that beginning. And now, after that, after you get all that together, come back to, you have this slide thing. And I think he slides just from the 8th fret to the 10th fret. think that's, I'm not sure exactly how the phrase goes. I think there's a little bit of a hold on there. And then again here, and he does that chromatic thing a little bit. So that altogether is real slow. And again, this is the 8th fret, so we're going from the 8 to the 10. And then pick it. And then you slide again. And on that G string, in the 10th fret all the way up to the 12. And again, I'm in standard, so all this will be a half step up if you tune down to, you know, their E flat tuning. Okay, and then you have, okay, so all together, or I'm sorry, and these bends, I'll usually switch to my 3rd finger because you need your pinky on the E string here. So 3 whole step bends, and then you come in with your pinky and play that high E string. Or actually he does. So he's going 3 times. And then try not to hit that G string. I keep on hitting it, but. And then this part is two times, you know, just. And then you have this. And you do a little hammer on it. But you want to try and get those bends. Another whole step bend. Okay. And then you have one more. Where does it go to? And I think he kind of goes up a little bit more than a whole step there, I think. Let me try and think. So if we go. Okay, yeah, so I go up to the 15 and go wing, wing. Okay, so for this week, let's see if I feel like I'm putting a little bit too much in this video, but for this week, we'll just try and get that. See if we can just get up to that part for this week.